Hey guys, welcome back to Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe. And this week, we are back for another anime review. Not random this time because we picked it. It was requested by a friend of the show, Wilder, a little while back to me personally whilst I was hanging out with him.
Yeah.
So here you go, Wilder. Hope you enjoy. It's Reborn as a vending machine. I now wander the dungeon.
So it's one of those ones like, even though, yeah, sure, it's not a random anime review, it's an anime review which is random in subjects. Kind of like our Uncle from Another World one, where we kind of chose this, but the subject is very random.
Yes.
Obviously, this has been quite a huge thing in the anime kind of fandom as well. Like, people are, Isekai has gone too far. Let's actually so me and Nathan decided, let's actually watch this as well, because I think it's actually been on our list to watch this for a while.
It has. We planned to do this at some point.
Yeah.
And we just kept pushing it back because, we watch too many isekai shit.
It is because, every anime review we've done, 90% of them that we've done in the past year have been isekais.
Bro, I want to say more than 90%. I want to say it's like 99%.
It's a lot. A lot of it is there. But it's one of those ones. So we were like, do we really want to do another one? But we thought, give us a shot, see how it goes. And it is obviously a big discussion point as well. So
to be fair, I did actually really want to try to watch this because, we complain about isekai and,
yeah,
we might complain again. I don't know what Pepe's thinking. We literally haven't spoken to each other about it.
no.
Waiting for record. But, I just wanted to try it because I'm like, I remember seeing it and being like, yo, Pepe, check this out. Look,
Yeah.
What the fuck? Vending machine? What the hell?
Vending
Machine
machine
isekai. So it was like, all right, let's go.
I'm gonna say this straight off the bat as well. I really enjoyed this.
I'm so glad you said that, bro. I fucking love this. It's kind of weird.
I'll tell you what it is. I'm gonna say this straight off the bat. Why my reasons why I enjoyed this. It's because it doesn't lean into, don't get me wrong, it leans into the tropes of isekais. It's in another world. It's reincarnation. It's everything like that.
Yeah.
However, it's so stupid and self-referential in it that it's just it has this charm about it, and Boxu, the main character, is actually really likable as a character, and all the stuff they go through is just it's just actually a really freaking good isekai. It kind of breaks the narrative that we've been pushing for the past year that is all isekais are the same and aren't I mean, the only one I'd say is different is Campfire Cooking. I really enjoyed Campfire Cooking.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really enjoyed that one, and I'd say if you're gonna enjoy that one, you're gonna enjoy this one, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this.
I'm so glad you said that. With the standard, we've watched so many that I expected to go in and be like, well, fucking hell, God, here we go again, medieval setting.
Yeah.
Oh, they got RPG elements, it's like a video game, and it's the blah, blah. But you're right, bro. Whatever it does, I'm like, yes, it fits into all of those tropes, and yet it doesn't really do any of the things that annoy me about an isekai.
Yeah.
But before we get too far, we should probably do the breakdown.
Yeah. I say we do the breakdown. Nathan.
Yeah.
You do best, my guy.
Yeah, I figure we better do the breakdown because we
Yeah.
always do the breakdown, and otherwise we're
Absolutely.
going to gush and forget. And then,
Yeah.
right, anyway, so Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon, or Jido Hanbaiki ni umare kawata ore wa meikyu wo samayo.
Jesus.
Is created by Hirukuma even. Was a novel series and a light novel series. Animated by Studio Gokumi and Axis. It look AXSIZ.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Axis?
It is basically Axis, isn't it? It's just weird spelling.
Aired July 5th, 2023 to September 20th, 2023. So it's only got one season at the moment? Question mark? And where did I get this from before I read it out? I think I got this from Crunchyroll itself.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember. People who are listening to this and listening to the next episode will understand. Behind the scenes, we're doing a double record today, so lots of descriptions. I did all my research all at once. Anyway, the future of this fantasy world now lies in the hands of a vending machine. Thank you. Boxo was once a human until he died in an accident and was reincarnated as a sentient piece of machinery. While he can still hear and see, there's no way for him to move by himself or speak more than his programmed phrases. How can he make the most of this strange new life?
Yeah.
Which is actually a very good description.
It is, isn't it? It doesn't give you too much away in that description as well. You
Yeah.
just, I mean, you don't need to give too much to be fair. It is just like, it's an isekai, it's a reincarnation, it's a vending machine. That's all you need to know of it.
Yeah.
And you're going into it, you're going, you know what you're getting into with this.
Well, you say that, but like you kind of don't because I wasn't.
Yeah, but you know the subject. You know the subject of what
Oh,
you're
yeah,
getting
yeah,
into. You know you're getting into these guys. You know it's in the title. The vending machine's in the title. You know exactly.
Yeah, okay. If you're, yeah. Okay, I get you then. Here's a question for you though, Pepe.
Yeah.
If you were Boxo as a human, yeah,
Yeah.
at the start when you're on your moped and you're behind a truck and there's a vending machine that's about to fall, would you speed up to be like, oh no, the vending machine?
This is what I mean about this series is so stupid in the right ways, because not only does he say, oh my god, that vending machine's gonna get hurt. One is just a ridiculous sentiment to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's when he's reincarnated into the vending machine, he's like, well, I know I actually really love vending machines and I'm a big fan of them. And I was sat there like, hey, you're a big fan of vending machines? Like, this is why I'm like, this is so stupid in the right ways.
Yeah, it is so silly. Because like I would say I'm a fan of vending machines too, right?
Yeah.
We've been to Japan. I like a good vending machine. Like their vending machines are good.
Mm-hmm.
But at no point would, if I was on a moped on a mountain road behind a K truck transporting a vending machine and it was going to fall, would I speed up to be like, not the vending machine? I would have kept my distance realistically, right? Because I'm like, well, that could fall towards me. Or you would move to the side because it looks like it's single lane traffic.
Yeah.
Would you not slightly move to the side, speed up, and tell the driver like, "Yo, there's something wrong with you're hauling the machine. It's something wrong." No, speed up, grab it, hug it, go off the cliff, and be like, "No, vending machine chan, jido hanbaiki chan." Like the fuck, nani the fuck, bro.
Yeah, it is such a bizarre concept, but like, you know, it's so piss taking the fact that it's doing this, and like, even like, how much did you watch, by the way, of this?
I've watched 3 episodes so far.
So I've watched 2 episodes.
Okay.
I haven't got too far, but I probably will continue watching this.
I was gonna watch 4 episodes, but something was a bit weird. I watched 2 yesterday. I watched 1 today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whilst I was eating lunch. I was gonna watch 2, but something happened to Chromecasting and
Was it? Yeah. Technical issues. Yeah.
whatever. So it was like funny enough, it died right at the end of episode 3.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I wasn't having connection issues until right at the end of the episode. I was like, right, okay, well, fuck you then. Like, not to the anime, but like just to the service itself. I was like, how do I watch literally 99% of an episode and then you die? Like, okay, well, go fuck yourself.
It's like it knew, but I'm glad to hear that you kind of stopped watching because of technical issues rather than the anime subject itself. Because it's like in previous anime.
Oh, bro, I would not have stopped because of the anime.
Yeah.
This anime is like lighthearted
Mm-hmm.
and like self-aware enough that it's just like,
Oh.
bro, I don't want to say like so bad that it's good,
Yeah.
but it kind of understands that it could fall into that category, so it just does what it wants in a way, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool, I believe it.
I think that's why I enjoy this quite a bit, like for an isekai, is because it's so unique in its concepts as well. It's like,
Oh yeah.
you look at that and be like, oh, what the hell? Isekai's gone too far. But you watch this and you're like, it's obviously so piss takey in what it's doing. And it's so like self-referential, all that kind of stuff is just like, okay, this is actually quite enjoyable. It doesn't fall like in so hard into the tropes that make isekais annoying, like you said.
Yeah.
There's just so many like just light-hearted, heartwarming moments as well with this.
Oh, for sure. But it's also like fairly well thought out as well. Like, you know, in the first episode where for some reason he just takes it on the chin and he's like, cool, I'm a vending machine now.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird world. And then he just sits there and starts like processing everything.
Yeah.
But then you learn about like the points and all the RPG elements, and like, again, surprisingly well thought out considering, because you could easily have just been like, vending machine, he can't do nothing. That's it. But it's like, no, you know, you got your RPG elements. Money translates to points. Points is everything to him. That's his like HP, his XP. That's how he uses skills, how he changes forms. It's everything to him. But again, if I was writing this, for example, I probably would have been lazy ass and just been like, vending machine in Crazy World, he don't do nothing.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, like it's one of those things of like, how do you make it work? And realistically, with this, like, as bizarre as the sentence it sounds, it actually like falls into like the category like, what would a vending machine do if it was in this other world?
Yeah.
And is facing those trials of, again, a weird sense, what a vending machine would go through.
Yeah.
And it is also like for example, he can't speak. He can only say a series of like 10 phrases.
The pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Irashaimase.
Yeah. So, so did you watch the you watched the sub one?
Yeah, of course. I watched sub.
Yeah. It's always the case that you watch.
Did you watch dub or something?
Yeah, I watched dub.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's always like, so he can only do the standard, you know, pre-recorded, like,
Yeah.
hi and welcome, thank you, and come again, like.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you might win a prize, or
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
those
yeah.
kind of things. But like, then obviously he meets the character Lamis. Who comes and basically saves him from the wasteland, and they like establish a like weird like communication.
Yeah.
So like she's like, oh, you use this phrase to say yes and this phrase to say no, and then like in episode 2 they're in battle and it's like, oh, cover my back if you if someone's coming at us, just say oh, you might win a prize or something like that. I can't remember the exact phrase, but and then, like he's just spouting it over and over again when an enemy's coming. She's like, she's talking to someone else at the time.
Yeah, she's talking to the I forgot his name.
It's the general, yeah, the captain,
the leader of the Menagerie of Fools, by the way.
Yeah.
What a group name. I did also note that down because
Yeah.
I specifically, and I quote in my notes here, Menagerie of Fools sounds like a group the Cultured Boys would be part of. Because it would. Does that not sound like a group name that for some reason we would have come up with and
It
been
sounds
like, yeah,
you know, like our circle that we have all of other YouTube.
our Menagerie of Fools.
I like
yeah.
a powered up couple, and well, yeah, there we go. That's us.
We are the Menagerie of Fools.
That is, it's a fucking sick name. It's also like, I don't know, kind of sounds like a parody band as well.
It does. You know what? It sounds like somebody's like weird like punk band or something.
It plays ska. They play ska music.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh my
do.
god.
You know the Menagerie of Fools plays
yeah,
ska.
literally ska. Oh my days. Why did I not think of that?
There's like, I don't know, they play Mr. Brightside, but it's a ska version.
Bro, they play everything. They do everything, but it's only ska covers. They don't do original songs.
That's it. That's the Menagerie of Fools.
But anyway, yeah, she gets complimented by him or something because he's like, oh, your parries are really good and you're so good at fighting. And then she's like, oh my god. And he's like, then Boxo or Hakon in Japanese is
okay.
Is trying to warn her, and she's just like, oh, Hakon, you keep not you two, oh my god. And it's like, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
It's fine. I did like even like it at the end of that episode as well. It's like, oh, here's mixing Mentos and Coke.
Yeah.
It's like I'm interested to see how else like this plays out, because it's established that obviously Boxo can change forms now as well. And I think in the end credits, I think I've seen that like he's able to change like a microwave or something and some other like.
I haven't seen that yet. In episode 3, there's a new form.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for you because I just want to know your reaction afterwards.
I'll watch it and we could discuss at some point. But yeah.
Anyone out there who's seen episode 3, you'll probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Pepe will definitely know. You'll know when you get there. Believe me.
Okay, yeah. I saw like literally a picture. Like there's about 12 different machine forms that he changes into or something. It might be 12, it might be less.
I think he can become basically any vending machine because like the Mentos machine or the Mint machine was just arcade machine.
Yeah.
So the thought being like he could turn into a claw machine probably, right?
There probably is a bunch of things. Like that's it. Like that's a kind of good way of like putting this anime as well. Like a good progression kind of way. And you know what I mean?
Well, because he just sort of becomes whatever he thinks is appropriate for the time.
Yeah.
Because like in episode 2 at the camp, he gets everyone addicted to cup noodle
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
because he turns into a cup noodle vending machine, and like it's kind of hilarious because obviously he's in this other world where it's like kind of video gamey, and again Isekai, so like medievally, and then everyone is just addicted to like cup noodles and they're eating every flavor he has just because they've never had this before. They're, oh, it's so good. This flavor and this flavor and that flavor. Oh my God. And like this happens every time he changes as well. Like even
Yeah.
at the end of what, episode 1, where he's like, oh, I know what I'll add. And it's a can of Odin, like instant
Yeah,
Odin, and everyone's just addicted to it. Like that town's now famous for for this guy, this fucking vending machine.
It just reminds me like so much of like it's going back to it, campfire cooking in another world, and the fact that
Yeah.
obviously the main character from that like takes all those like ingredients which are quite average in terms of like in Japan, like oh yeah, here's
Yeah.
just this like I don't know cup noodle for example, or some other thing, and it's like oh okay yeah, but using this, and everyone's like oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. It's like I love this kind of like thing. Even it goes along in Dragon Ball as well with Beerus,
Yeah.
in the fact that like he'll just eat normal food that is quite average. It's like, oh, it's the best thing ever. Like apparently, apparently, there's snack food is like the best thing to people that have never tried it in anime before, and it is.
It's not completely wrong. Like how
No.
many people, including ourselves, go over to Japan for the first time? You buy a bunch of stuff and you're just like, oh my God, this is the best fucking thing I've ever eaten. After my first trip, I compiled a massive list of things that I love.
Yeah.
And then when I went with Pepe, I exploded with that list, and like then the rest of the group ends up picking up a bunch of the snacks I was eating. So, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's true. Japanese snacks are very top tier. Not all of them, but
Not all of them, like,
No,
but
yeah.
when you find the good ones, they're like, dang, they're up there.
Yeah, you find there's such a wide range. I mean, realistically, like any country has a wide range of snacks.
Yeah.
And obviously, but it's just Japan has some fucking good ones, is what we're saying.
I'd say to most of the world, they're like their snacks are like higher up there. The general level is much higher.
Yeah, they're not like too crushed by sugar tax.
Yeah.
But they still like able to find the good balance of like, oh yeah, that's sugary, but it's nice, or like, oh, this is fatty, but it doesn't feel like.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've said it before, but for sure, fruit flavored stuff, man, they got that on lock.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fruit flavored things.
They got that on lockdown. Like, don't bother sometimes with some of the other stuff. Like, I'm not a fan of Japanese chocolate,
Yeah,
but if you're talking like fruit flavored things, god
nah.
damn, they are the kings.
you're so right there. That's so true. But yeah, that is
Tangent aside.
Yeah, but God, I think even when you look at some of the side characters, which in retrospect to the whole series are just there to kind of progress the plot, like in some ways. I'm not gonna say like for me anyway. That's what I've gone up to. I think the characters are completely fine. They're not annoying.
Yeah.
You know, like you go through some characters in like these kind of animes, any anime in general. There's always one that you're like, oh, this character's annoying or whatever. This is good. Like some of the characters here don't feel overplayed or whatever, in my opinion.
Like from what I've found so far is every character introduced is just to fill a role,
Yeah.
because again your main character is so limited in what they can do in terms of like normal things, you know, like normally your main character moves around, they live a whole life based on where they go and what they do, but obviously he's a vending machine, he goes wherever Lamis goes,
Yeah.
or wherever Lamis can carry him, because she has the blessing of might, so she's strong as fuck, but she's also a bit clumsy, so it's one of those kind of like balancing things. So like people come up and give him like tasks and things, or they'll ask Lamis, but they'll also be like, hey, can you bring Boxo, because
Yeah.
we want the vending machine with us.
It's such a strange concept in that, but it works.
It's so stupid, but again it like really works, because if you like, it's a medievalish game world, they live in a dungeon, so food is whatever you can hunt,
Yeah.
and now they've just got this machine that as far as they know is magic and just constantly
Limitless
refills
as
on
well,
food and drink, like. And so it's like, yeah, of course we want the fucking the vending machine with us constantly, because we don't have to think about food or drink, because as long as we got money, we're good.
Especially when it's like it's changing, rotating that stock all the time as well. So it's not always like
He can manually, quote unquote, change his stock to whatever he wants.
yeah.
Well, within reason, if he's got the points. But I mean, by episode 3, people have spent so much money. I'd imagine he's got quite a few points.
Yeah, he even says like in episode 2, he says that look, when I first started, I wouldn't dream of being able to change this kind of thing, but now I have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Like it's like stuff like that would be too expensive for him at the start. He's like, well, okay, people give me enough money that I can actually exchange this to have these new powers, and that's like your progression system in this anime, which is quite cool. I think that's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
I think the only thing that I don't quite understand is everyone is always like, oh man, a silver coin, that's really expensive. Doesn't stop anyone from just buying up everything he has though. So it's like,
Yeah.
is it that expensive though? Because you always got the monies.
It's one of those ones, I guess, because they always have the money like, oh, it's expensive. But you know, like when guess the best way to describe it is import snacks here.
Okay.
Like sometimes where like for example, you know you'd never be able to get this anywhere else.
Yeah.
You've never tried it anywhere else as well. This is something you've never had before. You spend money, okay, cool, I'll try this, see what it's like, and then you're like, whoa, this is the best thing ever. Then it's like, there you go. Then they start giving away all the money. That's probably the best way to describe it, I guess.
Fair.
But
it's just it's just like the way everybody is like, oh man, silver coins, oh shit.
yeah. And then immediately try every single item.
Yeah,
the box
exactly.
has.
I've had all the drinks, I've had all the snacks, like I'm bored now. And like every villager comes out and like eats everything. So it's like, is a silver coin really that much though? Because apparently y'all got plenty of them.
Yeah, I guess it's like the equivalent, like, yeah, here's a $5 for this can or something like this. This one drink is a $5, and you'd be like, wait, no, it is a $5.
No, because originally it was 100 yen.
They make it sound like it's a lot more than a $5, to be fair, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they make it sound like it's a lot, but then like it's converted from like real world money to the in-world currency, right?
Yeah.
So it was like 100 yen to 1,000, which equals 1 silver coin.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but how?
It's the same work in the currency conversion, yeah.
Yeah, how do you all have so many silver coins on the regular though?
Yeah.
Because like I'm assuming it, each time you see something, it skips maybe a day or several days or whatever, sometimes, right? But at no point did people not stop coming and buying stuff. So again, it's like, are you guys getting paid every day? Like, some of you are hunters, so that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
That's fine. Some of you are guardsmen. Some of I'm sure they've all got jobs.
Well, Lamis literally spends all of her money on the vending machine, and then she has to work another job to to work that money back up again, basically.
Yeah, but do you know, that's just one thing I don't quite understand. That's it though. It's like literally everything else, I'm just suspension of disbelief because I'm like, it's a fucking vending machine in a fucking medieval, like almost like sword art-esque world, because they're like, oh yeah, we're not actually on the surface, we're in the dungeon.
Yeah.
We're in one of the like higher levels of the dungeon, as in like closer to the surface, I'm assuming, so like a lower level area. But like, yeah, it's kind of that video game-esque thing where they're like,
it is, yeah,
whatever, sure. You got magic and you got skills and blessings and all sorts of crap and whatever.
Yeah. At this point, when it comes down to this kind of, I just like accept that, okay, there's magic here, there's inns, there's all this kind of stuff that exists, and like realistically, I'm not here for that. I'm here for like the the vending machine kind of stuff, and it's just like this setting is like, okay, this is obviously to like move the story forward, and this is how it's all set. Like for most isekai, this would probably be like an off, like putting me off, but I'm like, yeah, I just want to find out more about this vending machine, all the powers it has, and all this kind of stuff, and like see where it goes next, where the progression is of it, and I'm looking forward to it.
What a strange set of statements to make.
It is.
I'm looking forward to seeing the progression and the skills that this vending machine develops.
I'm like, at this point, while accepting the world that the vending machine is put in, I'm also accepting that every sentence I've said in this episode probably sounds absolutely stupid.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
But it works. Trust me, it works. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it really does. I forgot to note down what the bands and the names of the songs for the intro and the outro.
Oh, so I know that the band name for the intro is a band called Radio, and I heard this and I was like, this band sounds really familiar. I don't know where I've heard it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Is it on our playlist?
There is a song on our playlist called
The Band. They've been on the playlist, right?
There is one. There's a song called Flyers by Radio.
That's it. I knew it sounded familiar in a way.
Yeah, that is they did the intro for Death Parade. That's as well as I've actually heard many other Radio songs. Weirdly enough, Bradio wasn't the band I was thinking of when I heard this as well, because I heard him, I was like, this sounds really familiar, but I don't know what it is. I would have never have guessed Bradio.
See, I feel like the Bradio song like puts a different vibe. The kind of song I was expecting for the intro was actually the outro song.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like a weird kid show.
Yeah, the outro song is literally, it feels like the outro song is made because it's the vending machine.
Yeah.
It sounds like a jingle that would play when the vending machine's just in standby mode and trying to get your attention.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of what I know now of the series, the outro song is super appropriate because it is just sort of like, it kind of like, it gives off that vibe of weird kid show that's just kind of wacky and weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm here for it. But then like the intro song, I'm like, it's kind of funky, it's kind of a little jazzy, and I'm like, not quite the same vibe that I was thinking.
You kind of need to go for a lighthearted intro of this kind of thing. You can't go for, for something like Asian Kung Fu Generation here. There's been
You can't have any of them Naruto openings or none of them like Dragon Ball openings or anything like.
I think that's what I love about like the two songs I've heard from Bradio are very upbeat, although kind of contradicts what I've said about Bradio doing the intro song for Death Parade, because Death Parade is a very very dark kind of anime. Not the darkest one, but it's very like solemn undertones. But that is but regardless, Radio, yeah, they I need to actually add this to the playlist. I think it's a really good intro song actually.
I like the song. It's just knowing what the show is about now, I'm kind of like, did it just slightly miss the mark? Just a little bit.
Ah, interesting, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you hear that song and I kind of feel like it doesn't quite fit the vibe of what I think the show is personally.
Would you expect it to be a bit more upbeat and funky, like poppy kind of thing, like the intro?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I like a little closer to what the outro song is, maybe not so heavily in the like sounds like a kid's show.
Do you think a bit more I throw a bit more idol like stuff in there or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something along that vibe, but a little more idly, a little more like
bubblegum poppy kind of thing.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more like that. Something a little more like, for lack of a better descriptor, a little more sickly.
Yeah.
To me.
I mean, it's that kind of like I think it kind of falls into, again, what most isekai usually have, and realistically a lot of isekai do have that kind of bubblegum pop with a little bit, maybe a bit more serious undertones here and there.
But like most of the other times I'm like, oh god,
yeah,
doesn't work. But this time I'm like weirdly asking for it because I'm like, I think it would work better.
Yeah, it's just finding that right middle ground. It's like finding that like
because like some of the other isekais I'm like actually might have worked with like a radio song, you know, something a little funky, a little jazzy, right? But this one, it's just, yeah, after hearing that outro song, I am more inclined to be like, that bubblegum J-pop idol stuff.
Yeah,
Almost said a word that probably would get me in trouble instead.
Jesus, okay.
Well, you know, some people with the idol culture, they're like really into it, you know. So if I say shit, then
oh, right, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You know, people get mad.
You know, yeah, but you know, it's...
I'm not trying to shit on your stuff. I'm just saying in general.
You've indirectly just said that you were just trying to shit.
No, I'm not. I don't mean it like I'm just using shit as a general word to mean like,
I know,
you know, all of that kind of stuff.
I'm with you. Yeah,
Pepe understands a bit. I feel like, you know, sometimes
because I say the same thing as well. Like, oh, that kind of shit. That is that thing. Like, you mean shit in the terms way of thing is what you mean.
Yeah, we mean as a grouping of things rather than like, oh, I think it's rubbish.
That's just our way of saying things. That's our way of saying shit.
Exactly. But no, yeah, like again, it's only one season, so I don't know if they would even really change up the song because I think it's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah, they might. Well, if there's another season, they probably would change it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's if though. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's if there's another season. I would like another season, even though I've only watched 3 episodes.
I think this has got like, it was quite well received, I think.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like it's one of those ones. I remember when it advertised, obviously when you first hear about it, you're like, what is this? But when you actually watch it, I think it has been, I don't think I've seen many negative things apart from people that haven't seen it or just making first judgments.
I think it depends on how much of the source material has gone through as well, because even the original novel series is like done and dusted.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, like they're all written and stuff. And I think the light novels are basically all written as well. So like it depends on how much of the
Was it finished? Unreal. Shit.
I'm pretty sure it was when I was doing research. So it depends on how much of the source material is left. You know what I mean? Like in 12 episodes, did you cover the whole thing or did you
That is so true.
only cover like part of it? Because if you cover part of it, yeah, obviously you can have more seasons. But if you did the whole thing, well, then you can't do anything else because there's nothing left.
Interesting. Yeah. Jeez, I didn't realize it ended.
Again, that's the original like novel series.
No way, it was only 3 volumes.
Oh shit, maybe 12 episodes is the whole thing then.
Literally, yeah, even like novel series only ran for a year and 20. What surprised me most about this is, well, the manga's still going, but there's only 2 volumes of the manga. So they could extend it a bit like that.
I suppose.
But this was written, the light novel originally came out in 2016. Even as the light novel, the novel series is obviously like earlier, like 2020. That's mad how like early this is. I didn't expect it to be.
The thing is though, like you say early, but like it's not like super early either though, you know, like
Yeah.
it's kind of surprising because there's sometimes we're like, oh yeah, the light novel was like ages ago, you know, or the
Yeah.
original novel series is like in the early 2000s, like, but like this was only a short while ago. That all of that was written.
Yeah. God,
It's not like super long ago.
I kind of think of it in the way that, like, I feel like the slime anime kind of took off. God, it must have been 20. I feel like 2019 is what I remember it hitting its peak. At least I think.
Yeah, I can't remember when that came out though. It's
I can't remember either. But
something I'm interested to watch just because it was like it feels like that was the big push for like isekai stuff,
Oh.
even though I know before that it's technically Sword Art Online.
yeah, but. The slime one is definitely the one that was like, that's the one that kind of pushed it to be like, oh, let's make a whole other series. Like that in my opinion, that launched the isekai genre. You had stuff like Konosuba, which was isekai,
Yeah,
but I think like one of the first ones where slime anime really pushed the demand for it, I feel.
you put it in much better like much better phrasing than I did. Because it's like there were anime before that did have that like isekai thing, but like yeah, you're right. Slime anime is the one that really like exploded it onto the scene and was like, yo, this is.
So the slime anime came out in October 2018. So roughly what we were saying.
Wow.
So 2019 is realistically when it got like that massive push.
Yeah, that would make sense then, because when we were over there in 2019, like in Japan, like I saw a lot of slime stuff.
Yeah, it would have been
Slime anime, sorry. I don't want to be like, oh, slime, because then, you know, it's the internet, so they think just like normal fucking slime.
kid YouTube shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like none of that bollocks.
I think it's
Like,
one of those ones that, like, obviously, I remember after the slime anime, I saw they did the reincarnated as Yamcha manga series.
yeah.
Like, and then that's when there was like, oh, so reincarnation is a kind of thing now. And then it just slowly became bigger and bigger from there. You just got loads of other ones. You're like, oh, okay.
Now we are where we are.
And realistically, like, I'm not like as much as I'll shit on, like, again, it's been a running thing with us. We shit on isekais all the time, but we got this from it.
Yeah. And we got Campfire Cooking and Uncle from
Yeah.
Another World. There are good ones, for sure.
They are good ones. I think it's because those ones are so unique in what they do.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. When you do make an isekai, I want something that is funny as well. Like, I think there's some isekais which really do take it really seriously, and some and even when they do comedy, sometimes the jokes fall flat. But these jokes, the comedy in these are like spot on, and this is what I enjoy from an isekai.
Yeah.
This is ideally what I want to see. Something unique from each one, not just, oh, I'm a prince, or I'm like, oh, I've changed genders, or I'm like, oh, I'm now level 99 and like all this kind of stuff. It's just like there's so many there, and it's like
I think it's just because, like you were saying, like the sheer volume of isekai. So like we're kind of over the like power fantasy stuff now, because you know, like that was the easy stuff before. You know, like your first sort of isekais is like, oh, I was weak in my real life, and now I'm the strongest person, and it's like, oh, that was cool for the first few, and now it's like, oh, they all do it.
It's because there's so many. Yeah. Now, like,
And then it's like, I mean, yeah, all the power fantasies as well. Like, I feel like me personally, I'm done, you know, like, not just the strongest person, or now I'm the final boss, now I'm the king, now I'm the whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I don't care. As weird as it sounds, like, kind of want, like Pepe said, more interesting. Like, maybe not every time do something like, oh, I'm a vending machine. Oh, now I died and now I'm a moped in a fucking new world. Like, some, you know, I don't want shit like that. Or like, oh, I'm a TV in a.
yeah. I think you know for a fact that this is the one thing because Vending Machine anime has kind of set the way for it. Like, okay, look, this is a first in it.
Yeah.
The ones that come after it are gonna be like, okay, this is exactly the same as what I've seen before. This is why I like this one, but if there are any to follow, I'd be like, I've seen it already. I want new stuff, basically. This is the thing when it comes to reviewing anime in general. You want new things regardless. You don't want to be watching the same kind of series all the time with a different skin. And it's a unique idea. That's what you just want unique ideas.
I want to heavily agree with you, but then I sat here thinking about it, and I read basically only shonen, and I basically read all the same sort of stories. So I guess I can't really say shit thinking about it.
Depends on what you're saying, because if you're comparing something,
I want to agree with you and be like, yeah, I want unique every time, and then I'm sitting here like, yeah, but I like shonen. I only really read shonen. I like the battle mangas, and then I read sports mangas, and I'm like, hey, they all sort of follow the same kind of beats. And now I'm sitting here like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything. Do as I say and not as I do.
Yeah. Quit while you're ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to say about this before we wrap this episode up, Nathan?
Go and watch this. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Actually, quite good. It's everything we've already said. I don't need to retread. We like it. We recommend it. So off you go. Have a gander.
Exactly. I could not say it better myself. In which case, guys, thank you for listening to another Culture Boys episode. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you thought about this anime as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Links are in the description. You can also find us on X as well. And we'll see you next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.